This is a WKYT podcast.
Hello, everyone. How's it going, Andrea?
It's so good. I'm just so excited for this podcast. I mean, Darnell, like I said, one of my favorite people, and you're gonna be able to tell why.
Oh my goodness, this was very exciting. So we spoke to Darnell Crenshaw, a photographer here for 20 years.
Almost,
I didn't realize
yeah.
it, almost 20 years. And so this was an exciting episode for us because Darnell does a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and he
Always goes above and beyond.
yes.
Always. I mean, for example, just today, so I was doing the 12 Days of Giving, so that will have already happened. But to give you just a behind-the-scenes look at it, we did a story on Central Music Academy, and Darnell was sent out to shoot interviews for it. And on his own time, he went back out because he didn't have video of an actual student, and he's like, the story needs this. And
that's
Darnell. Who he is.
And so he's going to talk about kind of his most recent passion project. He said is one of his favorite thing that he's done while he's been here, in 20 years. And it is, if you watch it, you can see why. So, all right, everybody, here's our conversation with Darnell Crenshaw.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited this week. Darnell is one of my favorite people in the newsroom, maybe even more than you, Victor. I'm sorry, but...
Well, that doesn't take much. But also, Darnell does a lot of really great work that you all have seen, and you just don't know his name. So that's...
Thank you. I'm the behind-the-scenes guy
Darnell
here at WKYT.
Crenshaw.
Almost 20 years in the game.
I was going to say, you've been around a long time. We were
I've
talking
been
about
around.
it. Kenny said, our photographers have been around longer than most of the reporters.
Yes, well, I mean, I started on 9/9/99, a date you'll never forget.
That does
So
make it easy.
it makes it easy to remember when you started. First story, I did a story on a three-legged dog.
Oh,
You never forget that 20 years later.
my first co-anchor was a dog.
Yeah, that's a whole other
That's
story.
a whole other
I
story.
remember my first story. It was the Windburn Panther because somebody thought they saw a panther in Windburn.
I remember that
So then
story.
I was knocking on
Yes.
doors, talk to people about.
They were talking about the
panther.
Black Panther in Windburn. Yes.
My first
yes.
story was animal related too.
Oh yeah.
It was after Harambe.
See how this all comes together?
Oh well, that's the whole.
So we went
R.I.P. Harambe.
R.I.P. to
Yeah.
Harambe. So
It's
yeah.
still flowing to this day. We love our animal
I had a
stories.
great soundbite because this lady's like, yeah, we used to have all these animals. We had Slappy the squirrel, we had Stinky the
God.
skunk. We ain't got none of them no more because the panther was eating them all.
The Panther is
all-
still a legend out there.
Okay,
So-
so I think we all strive to get that one interview, like a Sweet Brown
Yes.
or something like that. Do you have one, Darnell? Have you ever had one?
That one interview that just
Just an
sticks
interview that you
out.
just love the soundbite.
Just the best character.
I've had plenty. I just can't think of one off the top of my head right now, but there have been plenty of characters. And when you find that character that is just outstanding, that's always your first, what we call in the business, natural sound or nat pop, or the sound that you lead off with. If you have somebody who's just eccentric or just gives it to you real.
Just
And that's what I
draws
look
people
for.
in.
I look for the realest person out there. And people ask me, why are you always talking to the person that looks least educated or the person that looks like they don't know what they're talking about? I'd rather talk to them over the person in the suit because they keep it real. You want it to be kept real. The person in the suit, more than likely, is not going to keep it real.
It's rehearsed.
They're
It's
kind of
never-
bundled up. They're worried
No,
about what
you're
other
bundled
people
up.
might
Yeah,
think.
yeah, you're buttoned up. Give me the guy in the overalls. He's going to say the same thing, maybe better in a different way. That doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just in a different way than the guy in the suit. He's going to keep it real. You're going to understand where he's coming from. That's who I'm looking for to
More
talk to.
relatable, something.
All
Do you
relatable.
see why I love
Yep,
working
I know.
with him?
That's who you want to speak with.
All right, I got a character for you. My mother.
Oh, yeah. Your mother is a character. One of many characters. She should have been on TV. First time I met Mama Lindsay, as they call her, I was going to work on a normal day. Andrea about to get into the car with me. All of a sudden, here's this lady in her 60s getting in the car with me.
She's 60, Darnell. Don't say 60s.
Well, she is 60.
I got to say that.
curious,
or
like,
she's
yeah.
60,
No, no, no,
and that's a
mom.
blessing.
And that
And that's
is
a
a blessing.
blessing.
All right.
Yes. And So she gets in the car with me, and I'm like, "Who is this intern?"
This lady's got a way to go.
Non-traditional intern.
Non-traditional. I don't know you. Why are you sitting in my back seat? And Andrea's going. Andrea did not introduce me to Mama Lindsay. All of a sudden, this is my mom.
Was it Bring Your Mom to Work Day?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and she was here dropping off cookies. All of a sudden, we're going to breaking news. Who is this woman in my back seat? Oh, that's Andrea's mother. And we're going to breaking news. Let's do this. Let's go.
But she was good on the scene.
And she was good on the scene. Asked more questions and more pertinent questions than Andrea Walker. Mama Lindsay, you should have been in the game. You should have been in the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. You missed your calling.
Oh, that's fantastic. We're gonna have to have her on the podcast.
She's one
now.
of the nosiest people I know. So I was like, she would have been
That makes
a good
sense.
reporter.
I could see where you get that.
Yeah.
But every time I'm in the car with Darnell, which it doesn't happen enough, I always call Mama Lindsay.
Yeah, we always call
Say
in.
hi.
Yep.
Does
and
she enjoy her time with you all?
Darnell's like her second son.
Yes. She's not in the back seat anymore. She's on the speakerphone now.
You can't get
just
away
about
from
every
her.
other morning. Yes.
So Darnell, how did you get in the news business? Because did you go to EKU?
I went to the school, Victor Puente, the one and only,
That's
the great
right. That's
Victor Puente.
their most famous
You can see
alumnus.
him on Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings on WKYT.
I mean, that school's produced a lot
At
of
7 in
legends.
the morning.
There's me. There's Bill Bryant.
Bill
there's,
Bryant, one of the greatest schools in the history of
$6
schools.
million man. Did he go there?
Andrea Walker.
There's somebody.
Andrea Walker went there.
Oh.
$6 million
I
man
forgot
went
about
there.
that.
Dan Patrick, formerly of ESPN.
Oh, yeah, that's
spent a
right.
little semester there.
Didn't Sam Champion go there?
Yes, he did. Sam Champion. He went there from another
Dean
network.
Stevens.
Dean
Oh my
Stevens.
goodness, I didn't know.
We all went to EKU.
The one and only great Kenny Harvner, my boss, he went there.
Last week's guest,
Last
Ken
week's
Harvner.
guest. The list goes on and on. It just never stops. It's a school full of greatness. Greatness pours out of that school. It's Colonel Pride,
Stop
baby.
pouring into
It's
that
Colonel
school.
Pride.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved my time at Eastern.
Yeah.
So,
So I went there, graduated in '99. Was an intern here. Went to school at the same time. It was tough. Got through that. Got hired on. Been here ever since. Kind of grown in my profession. Started out as a videographer, that three-legged dog I talked to you about. Went from that, kind of morphed into writing, morphed into other things, morphed into starting my own projects, morphed into writing them, shooting them, and then cutting them, and just kind of growing with the business and the changing of times.
You're a beast. So
You have to be a beast to live.
that's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Nowadays, you have to be a beast. You want to eat, don't you? Everybody
Exactly.
wants to eat.
We're all hungry.
And
I wanna eat.
and I'm trying to be fireproof.
So, but to give
You understand what I'm saying when I say fireproof?
Yes.
You want to be fireproof.
essential.
You have to be.
You do.
You have to be needed, and you have to be
So
wanted,
you have to
and you
create
have
problems
to.
so that they're like, oh, we can't get rid
that
of
they
this guy.
need
That's
you.
so amazing.
Yeah, you have. That's where you have to be.
So behind the scenes, we had an innovation team that was formed recently, and
Your name kept coming up. People get, well, when Darnell does this, and suddenly we realized, why isn't Darnell in here?
yeah, I mean, it was seriously, you are innovative. That's how
Thank
you keep being so fireproof, is you are innovative, and you worked your way onto that team.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hands on the
Let's
table.
start that
Yes.
over.
No, I was just saying, every time you put your hands on the table like this, I could hear it in my headphones. So I was just trying to.
It's all good. It's all good.
So okay, so like we said, innovation team, your name came up a lot. And we were all confused why you weren't there. You know what I mean? And the next week, there you were, because you deserved to be there.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think you kind of defined that. And you kind of proved that not too long ago. You had your special project that you worked on that was beautiful. We got
Thank
to
you.
watch it. You
Yeah.
want to talk about putting that together?
Yes, it was a project. The project started out as what we call in the business a full screen, also known as a graphic on TV. It basically told the audience that here's this art project going on, talking about slavery, and depicting the slaves, mirroring the images of slavery in modern times, yet recognizing those who were sold through the slave trade at Cheapside, downtown on Short Street. In a way, it was kind of like honoring them. I saw that graphic and I was like,
We didn't do that justice.
that's more than just a graphic on TV. Oh yeah.
People need to see
Oh
that.
yeah, I want that. Oh, that's me. I want that story. So, and those type of things, when the light bulb goes on, you don't ask to do it. You do it. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to serve it up on a plate, and I'm going to give it to you. Now, do you want it? Do you want this? Do you want to air this? And so it was just like the God light just clicked in my head. It's like, Darnell, you have to do this. You have to tell this story about those who came through the Cheapside market, and it's bigger, it's separate than the statue issue. It's a whole different, it's just focused on the artwork and the reflection of those slaves that came through the Cheapside slave trade. And that story it felt that I had to do it. I had to do that story, especially coming up on the year 2019 will mark the 400th year since African Americans were here in this country.
And how long did that piece end up being?
That piece ran 9 minutes and change, something that's typically not conducted on television. That never happens. Typically, if you watch a television broadcast, it's 1:30, a minute 30 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. If you go a little bit longer than that, they yell at you. You don't want that. I don't have to pick that fight. I got this thing called the internet. It can live there. You know what I'm saying? If it had to be 18 minutes, it could live there. But I wanted to do something different. I've never took on a challenge like that. And that is the most inspirational piece I've done in 20 years. It just stands out. I found some African rhythm music to go along with it to kind of help set the tone. We use drone shots to kind of set a cinematic aerial viewpoint of the courthouse square at Cheapside, where it is today versus to where it was 150, 200 years ago. And if you watch the piece, it may move you. It may give you goosebumps. It may make you tear up. I think if you didn't know about it, you'll know about it now.
So why do you think it's so important to educate people about that area? Because for a lot of people, that's just the place they go on Thursday nights to go have a drink and have music. But, I mean, that's obviously there's a much deeper history of that area.
Yeah. We have employees here during the statue issue that didn't know that thing happened there. Some of the people we work with are from here and do not know that happened. History will tell you, history professors will tell you that was the Black Holocaust. It happened. There is a marker detailing that it happened. But once you get into the visuals, it's one thing to read it, another thing to see it.
To look at somebody's face.
And that's
Someone
else's
pain.
Was, yeah.
It was someone else's pain. It was someone else's face. There was a poet in there, Nikki Finney, so poetic as she is. She was like, I don't know you. I don't know where you went. The mothers were separated from the children separated from mothers, fathers separated from wives. That in itself, as I tell you this now, Victor, you have a daughter. Your daughter pulled away from you. You'll never see her again. The poem says the dust of Victor's daughter, gone. You'll never see her again. Your daughter was just born. She's gone. You'll never see her again, Victor. That's how I wanted to make you feel when you saw the piece. It wasn't a piece about anger. It wasn't a piece about revenge. It was a piece, if you listen to the people I interviewed, it was a piece about healing. Mm-hmm. Healing, a place to heal. And if you go down there, you may feel a little something about that area. Something happened there. Something, according to that artist that I spoke with, Marjorie Guyon, and the photographer, Patrick Mitchell, they tell you there's a special feeling about this place.
And you'll feel it after you see this.
And you will feel it after you see it. The project is called I Was Here. You can find it on WKYT.com, soon to be on Facebook. We're starting something off. Hopefully we can branch off to something innovative called WKYT Films, longer pieces that could live there. Hopefully we're trying to get this on traditional means, AKA the television.
Well, I mean, we had one of our consultants here, and he sat and watched the piece. And, you know, Robert was like, well, what can we take out, blah, blah, blah. And our consultant was like, Robert is our news director, and our consultant was like, nothing. Yeah, it's like, you can find a place for that. Yeah, that's how good it is. Like, I really would encourage people to go check it out. Yes.
And yeah, like I said, WKYT.com. Look up I Was Here, ! And soon to be on Facebook.
What's it like when you're planning something like that to be able to have that time, to realize that you don't have restrictions?
Oh, it's freedom. Freedom, Victor. You're not confined to this box. What? This is 2019, soon to be. What's this box we live in? We don't have to be 1:30, a minute and 30 seconds. What's this 2 minutes about? If the piece can go 9 minutes and it's great, let it go 9 minutes. We are not confined. You realize we have 9.5 hours of time to fill in a day? Oh, you realize that, Andrea Walker? You live it. Yeah. You breathe it. You wake up at 3 a.m. ready to go. You know what I'm saying? You are ready to go. 3 a.m. ready. Andrea Walker by herself, ladies and gentlemen, does 9.5 hours, right? All by yourself.
Feels like
but no, we got so much time to quote unquote feel. Let's feel it.
With something different.
Now, let me stop you for a second. The car wreck has to be told. Mm-hmm. The house fire got to be told. The murders, the rapes, they have to be told. But not 100% of it has to be filled. Some way, somehow, we can sneak in, quote unquote, air quotes, pieces like this.
And that's everybody's big complaint.
There's
they
time.
Get tired of the same type of story over and over and over.
Yes, those stories are important, but there's a but to that. If you sat down and you watched it from beginning to end, do you really want to see that 100%? There's a space for 10% of something different. And the difference stands out. If you watch a newscast and I ask you, what's the one thing that you remember? You're going to remember the different. That's what I'm here to bring. I'm here to bring the different.
Have you considered teaching?
I'm teaching now. I'm preaching now.
I'm
teaching
preaching.
And I'm preaching.
This is news church news.
This is church news.
We found the next podcast.
I'm just keeping it real. Keeping it real. I'm the person that you want to interview. The person, like I talked about earlier. The person you want to speak with is the person that the character. Right?
You're our Sweet Brown.
I'm your Sweet Brown. I'm your Sweet Brown.
I think we have to check back in now with Darnell like once every couple of weeks.
I need this. For my sanity, I call him my life coach all the time. Do I not? I take advantage of his wisdom all the time.
You do. I'm not preaching. I'm just talking.
It all makes sense, and it's just a voice of sanity. One thing we talk to people a lot while they're in here, though, sometimes is their family and what this business is like on their family, because it is so much of a lifestyle. I said lifestyle there.
Lifestyle.
It came out.
Powell County represent.
Yeah,
it's
there you go.
POCO.
Because it is just requires so much of your time, and you you got your beautiful little girl.
Thank you.
And so what else is
diva? Love her.
Yeah, I got a wife and kid with special needs, born with spina bifida. Juggling this is a challenge to go off to Garrett County, Whitley County, all counties in between, and get back home on time to do your fatherly duties. It's tough, but we find ways to balance. My daughter's 9 years old, and me and my wife, we figured things out. 9 years. Every day is a challenge, but we make it through. today's Tuesday. We got through Monday. Yeah, we got through Monday. Yeah, we did that. Yeah. We conquered Monday. What you going to do on Tuesday and Wednesday? And that's the thing about news. What's to come? I don't know. I'm on the clock as we speak. As soon as I get done with this podcast,
You're out the door.
God only knows where I'm going. I am scheduled to work with the one and only Andrea Walker. But that could change.
Actually, it already has.
No.
You're shooting this by yourself because I have to anchor the noon.
Right, but I haven't shot it yet.
Right, exactly.
But that could change. Anything could happen at any time. We're journalists, but at the same time, we could be like firefighters. You get the call, you go.
Yeah. Speaking of change, like you said, you've been doing this almost 20 years now. What's changed since you've been here? I mean, so much. Obviously, the people.
The people have changed. To be honest, it's at times it is like a revolving door. You hate when they leave, but you understand the why, and you welcome the new one that's coming through that door with open arms, and you help them out. So that's what we, as our long-running Photog staff, we have the most experience collectively in the newsroom, and so we kind of help and teach and help them mold a news story. One of the biggest changes is technology. You look at social media. Everybody has a camera now. Everybody has a camera phone. When I first started, we didn't have phones. Then we graduated to flip phones, graduated to smartphones, graduated to smartphones with high-definition cameras, graduated from just email to social media to YouTube. This thing is outside of our walls is growing, and it's growing faster than a chia pet. I mean, it's just taking off. I mean, what is this thing about now? Anybody can do it, so they think.
Well, Darnell, I am so glad we had this conversation.
Will you come back?
Anytime.
I think one of my favorite parts about this has just been getting to actually talk to people, longer than just passing in the hallway. Hey, how's it going? And to actually to hear a little bit more.
I need
about
a Darnell
them.
quota per week. Like, I need you
Oh,
in
thank
my
you.
life.
Thank you. Glad to be here. And
Anything
Darnell.
else you want to say?
just continue to watch WKYT, Victor and Andrea Walker. Victor's in the mornings. You can see him on the weekends. And Andrea Walker Monday through Friday with the one and only, the great Bill Bryant.
Are you our hype man now?
No, I'm not. This
That
is
just
not.
become official?
This is not hype. This is truth. This is truth.
And this is why I love you.
Oh, thank you. Watch I Was Here, please. I Was Here, ! WKYT.com. Hopefully starting off with WKYT Films on Facebook. Soon to come, hopefully on broadcast TV at a TV near your heart. Thank you.
So there we go, Andrea. How do you feel that went?
I mean, I think you said it best. What did you say when he was done?
Oh, I just said we had maybe another podcast on our hands, as far as we could just have him talking every week.
And you just, yes, that. But you're like, he blossomed.
Oh, yeah, he did. That's the thing.
I
You
think
talk to him
everybody's
in the
like,
hallway.
why are you two clowns
Sometimes
on
I forget
TV?
exactly what I
It should
said.
be Darnell.
Yeah, he just started talking, and I just laid back for a minute, like, oh, we've got something here.
See, where you're a one-man band, you don't work with Darnell
You're right,
as much
I don't.
as
So
I
I
do.
don't have those conversations.
I'm telling you, he's one of a kind. He really is. I just adore him so much. And I really, you can see it. You feed off that
Passionate.
energy.
Yeah.
And when you do a story with him, it is a team effort. He doesn't say, here's your video, have at it, which, time-wise, sometimes that's what has to happen.
One of my favorite things in the newsroom is when somebody comes down and says, hey, Darnell needs you to voice a package. Because he has gone out, he's shot it, he's written
Wrote
it. Everything's ready. You literally just walk up, and for me, discovering, I was like, let's see what Darnell has done
really
today.
good, yeah.
And so then you voice it, you read it, and you go, oh, that's really good. Now I can't wait to see the finished product. And then, an hour later, you're watching it on TV, and you get all this credit that you really didn't do as much work.
And he doesn't care.
No, he doesn't want it.
No.
He just wants people to see this stuff and to do good work.
Like I said, there aren't many like him. And yeah, when you work with him, it is a team effort, and he makes you better, which is what more can you ask for, really, in a coworker?
Talking to him has been one of the highlights of this podcast for me.
I know. He's going to come back. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll have Darnell back.
He's going to be a recurring character.
All right. So as we finish up today, Andrea.
things.
Yes. recommendation.
These are a few of my
I've got mine. I'm actually going to cue
things.
mine up in a second.
Okay.
You go ahead and talk
Is it a
about
song?
yours. It is a song.
Okay, I'm excited. So my recommendation, a lot of people notice that I wear a lot of different clothes. My wardrobe is extensive, but what you maybe don't know as much about me is like what a bargain shopper I am. Like Victor and I said, we came from kind of humble beginnings, so you had to learn to be resourceful.
Yes.
And my recommendation for the ladies out there, if you want some really nice professional clothes and not have to spend a lot of money, go to Clothes Mentor. It is in the Zandale Shopping Center. It's a consignment store, but it's for, Plato's Closet more for young kids. Not kids, I guess, young people. This is for more, women. So it's just been great. A lot of my clothes come from there, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. So that's always important
All
to
right,
me.
nice.
Yeah.
Especially with us, as often
With what
as
we
go
have to
out.
do, yeah.
Yeah, you've got to wear something different, especially you. I'm sure
And
that you have
everything's
people
color coded, which I love.
I'm sure you have people who say, "Oh, you wore that outfit 2 weeks ago." It's like, well, lady, get off my back.
Get off my back. All right.
So mine is.
Hey everybody, Victor here. Quick editor's note. So I played the first few seconds of Ocean to Ocean by Pitbull, his cover of Toto by Africa. I don't know why. Anyway, so I played that, and then I figured we could get away with a few seconds of it because it falls under fair use. But then I decided I'm not going to take a risk, and I don't want to get the station sued, so I decided to not include the music. All you really missed is, about 7 or 8 seconds of the beginning of that song and Andrea acting confused. And when we come back to it is her reaction, which is probably appropriate.
So
The dancing.
I saw a lot of people sharing that song because they absolutely hated it, but I unabashedly loved it. I love Africa by Toto. I love Pitbull's
You know who
take
else
on
loves
it.
Pitbull?
I love Pitbull.
My mom loves Pitbull.
Baby girl. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but she loves him. But
Well, did you ever hear about his trip to Alaska?
no.
Walmart had I think this is when I actually started liking him. So Walmart had a contest where Pitbull would perform a concert at a Walmart, whichever Walmart got the most votes. So 4chan, doing like they do, this online community, decided it would be fun to rig the vote. And so they all started getting everybody to vote for the most remote Walmart in the world.
Alaska.
Which is in a corner of Alaska.
And he
Boom.
did it.
And so it won, and Pitbull was like, guess I'm going to Alaska. And so there are all these pictures of him like in front of this stuffed bear and with all these, this tiny little town. There's nobody. It's like Pitbull's
Was the
putting
whole
on the
town there?
concert. I'm sure they all showed up. It probably didn't take much. But yeah, so Pitbull, he just went along with it. And I thought, that's pretty cool. Because a lot of people would have been like, oh, let's
awesome.
discount that. Let's go to some. But no, he just went with it. And I was
Okay,
like, you know what?
that makes me like
this
him
guy can
more.
laugh at himself and just have a good time.
I'm officially a fan. I have something that I need you to research for me.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Is there how the wrestlers have the song they intro into?
Intro song, yeah.
What is there?
Intro
Isn't there
music.
one called like Glorious or Victorious or
Yeah,
something?
Bobby Roode, Glorious.
That's one of the best songs ever.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That might be my
It
favorite
wasn't
thing
even
next
originally
time.
made for him. They made it for somebody else, but then
It's
made it,
so
thank you.
good. It got me pumped up.
Have you just heard?
No, I heard it a long time ago, but I thought about it
All right, well, that's your homework,
recently.
everybody. Go look up Glorious, Bobby Roode's and interest music, and then
So good.
listen to some Pitbull.
It's your hype music.
Ocean to Ocean. I'm sure my friends are going to enjoy that since whenever I posted that, I liked it. I got a lot of feedback.
Did you get a lot of hate?
They hate me because they ain't me.
Thank goodness. There should only be one. Bye, guys. Thanks
bye,
so much for being
everybody.
with us. Bye.